What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Ben Bally, back with another episode of the Sports Pod. And today, we're going to talk about the Mets sweep by the Guardians, their series loss to the Giants, and then some positivity. I'm going to try to talk a little hockey again, because Game 3 was a thriller between the Panthers and the Rangers. Before I get into it, Nick's got one more IL trip right before the season ends. Little wrist fracture, I'll be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks, But we still here. We're still here. We here. We outside. We're making videos. I got more time, if anything, because I gotta whatever. I'll get into all of it on the other side of the intro. Hit it.
That ball is out of here! Out of here!
All right, getting into the episode. The Mets win today, but they've dropped a ton of games before that one. And today, we really shouldn't have won that game. It's just Adrian Hauser had a good appearance out of the bullpen, and if we could get him out of the bullpen to work, to be like better than he was in the rotation, that would be huge for us. So yeah, prior to this game, the Mets have lost. Let's see, going back to the Brave series. One, two out of three they lost against the Braves. Understandable. And then against the Phillies, they lost 3 out of 4, so we're at what? 5 out of 7. And then they lost 2 out of 3 against the Marlins. So 7 out of 10. Then they get swept by the Guardians in a 3-game set. 10 for 13. And then they lose 2 out of 3 versus the Giants, which is 12 of 16. Oh, no, 12 of 15. 12 of 15. That is horrendous. We are playing such bad baseball right now. Edwin Diaz has not been pitching well at all. He might be the problem. And honestly, you can't put the problem on one person. There's a ton of blame to go around. It could be Mendoza, even though I think he's managed very, very well right now. And to start his young managing career, you could blame Alonso, Lindor, McNeil, Marte, pretty much everyone not named Luis Severino and Harrison Bader. Those are really the only two guys that have consistently produced for us. And it's been hard to watch. It really has been. There have been nights where I've turned the games off. I'll watch it afterwards, but there have been nights where I just can't take it anymore. This Mets team, I know it's only Memorial Day, but this team, it's not a good feeling. It's so bad. This team is just not good. Flat out, they're not good. Something needs to change. So here's a stat. During this 5-game losing streak that we were on prior to today, the bullpen, a 7.07 ERA during those 5 games. That is just horrendous. It's Ottavino. And then it's Edwin Diaz. I know Reed Garrett's pitched well this season, but it was him the other night. He allowed the grand slam when the Mets were up, 6-2? And opponents have had a 955 OPP over that span. It's terrible, bro. This team is not good. And then you got Steve Cohen tweeting I know these times have been tough, but we appreciate you guys supporting. And that's not only the bad one. Let me see if I can find the Steve Cohen tweet. Uh, no, whatever. Yeah, no, I can't find it. All right, it was like I know these times have been tough, but we appreciate you guys sticking around and still supporting the team. Who's still supporting? There's nobody at Citi Field, and it's one of the nicest ballparks in the league. Honestly, it might only be behind maybe Petco, Oracle, and PNC. So San Diego, San Fran, and Pittsburgh, just because of the backdrops. I don't even know how the stadiums are though. I've been to Pittsburgh, but I was like 3, 4 years old. I don't really remember that. I want to go to Petco and Oracle. That would be fun. That would be a cool trip going Petco to Oracle to Dodger Stadium on West Coast, NL West action. And then Arizona and Colorado are far away, so you couldn't knock out the whole division at once unless you really wanted to. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking about. That would be cool. Three of the like most historical and like best backdrop stadiums in the MLB, I guess. I don't know, but getting back to the Mets, I just feel like this core has run its path. This core being Nimmo and Marte and Lindor and Alonso and McNeil, and you can throw Diaz in there. Like we had the 100-win season, cool, but we need to do we need better. We need better than falling what 8, 9 games under 500. Um, it's just not good. Let's see, how many games under 500 are we anyway? 8 games under. That's got to change. We got the Dodgers coming up next series. Probably not going to beat them. Wouldn't be surprised if they sweep. Wouldn't be mad at it because that's arguably the best team in baseball. One of them. I still think the Yankees are right now. It's either the Yankees, or the Orioles for me. Um, but Dodgers are probably the best National League team, especially with Acuna going down today. He had a non-contact injury on the base pass, which you do not want to see. Non-contact are usually the worst. So hoping Acuna's all right. Never wish injuries on anyone, but I don't know. The Braves are so deep that if he is hurt, it probably won't matter in the end. They're gonna find somebody from like their AA team who nobody knows about. He's like their seventh string right fielder, and he's gonna come up here and hit 560 with 83 home runs. Because that's what the Braves do. They just don't miss on anybody. I feel like everybody they call up you've never heard of, and then they're just great for them. That's literally what they do. And then they sign them while they're young, and then they do the right thing. They run their organization very well. It makes you mad as a fan of another team, especially a fan of the Mets, a team in their division that they play. I guess they only play them what four times a year now, with the more balanced schedules. I was gonna say you play them about 73 times a year. Um, when you would play everybody in your division a lot more. Um, but yeah, I mean, the one thing I had a problem with in today's walk-off win, and it didn't end up being a problem. I thought he should have pinch hit Vientos for Omar Narvaez in that last AB. Um, I guess maybe he was playing. Mendy was saying if the game were to go to extras because Tomas Nido had already got taken out of the game. Because I mean injury. I don't know what the injury even was. Um, but Vientos has been hitting exceptionally well. And it just doesn't make sense why he isn't in the lineup more. like especially with Brett Beatty struggling at the plate. I know he's a very positive on the defensive side of the field this year, but he just hasn't been able to get anything going after his hot start. So Vientos this season um, has an average of 344, an OPS plus of 237, an OPS of um, 1,167, a 417 OBP in 10 games. Sure, let's rest them back-to-back nights. Great idea. Nice. Let's go. Shout out the guy that's hitting 245 out there. Nice. Good. Yeah, that'll work. Smart idea. It's not. Newsflash. Um, but I want to stick with Mendoza right now. I want to let him learn, make his mistakes now, um, get it out of his system because this team isn't going to be competitive. Bottom line. So if he gets it out of the way now, and then next year he's a very good manager and he doesn't really make mistakes, he learns from the mistakes he makes this year, I think we'll be better for it in the future. Um, so yeah, the Mets. It's just I can't even put a finger on what's going wrong. I just think it's people that we need to produce aren't producing, and I think that's the bottom line. Now a team that hasn't had their top guys producing but has been winning, the New York Rangers. Oh my goodness. What a win tonight, or earlier today, this afternoon. Going up 2-1 on the Panthers in another overtime thriller, back-to-back games going into overtime, and the Rangers coming out on top of both of them. Just, I don't even know where Gaudreau has come from. He had 4 regular season goals, and now all of a sudden he's got, what, 5 or 6 in the playoffs? This dude has been going insane. I think he's got 3 over the last 2 games. He had the overtime winner in game 2. And I don't know. That's a crazy positive for the Rangers. Because with their guys like Panarin, and I know Trocheck scored a goal in game 2, but he hasn't been doing much. Who else? I know Lafreniere had two goals today. Let me just look at the roster here because there's another guy, at least one, maybe two, that I want to mention. But while I'm getting that, I just want to talk about Matt Rempe for a second. Because this dude Rempe, he's a young guy. He's huge. He's like 7 feet tall. And he just goes and looks to hit people. Zibanejad was the other one I was talking about. But getting back to Rempe, he just goes out there and he was looking to hit people. Like it didn't look to me like he wanted the puck and he wanted to make winning plays. He just wanted to go out and hit people. And for Laviolette, playing him in Florida was a risky move. I think he picked up a penalty and the Panthers got a power play goal out of it. The Rangers did get a shorthanded goal today, but that's besides the point. I think playing Rempe at home, they haven't lost the game yet. And I would continue just playing him at home. It just doesn't seem worth it to me because the rest are going to be looking for it more in the other team's arena. The other teams are going to get the benefit of the whistle, like I was saying with the Knicks against the Pacers. Knicks reference to the day, by the way. I think I'm going to do an episode in the coming week where I just detail every single thing I want the Knicks to do this offseason. I gotta figure. I just gotta put more notes together and stuff for that. But that's coming soon at some point this week. So yeah, but getting back to the hockey, yeah, I don't think Rempe should play Game 4. I think it should be. I mean, Heedle's been playing. I forget what the other guy's name. I forget what his name is, but there was another guy that was like flipping the back end of the roster spots with Rempe that should play game 4 and then play Rempe game 5 at the Garden. Look to close it out at that point. If you could go up 3-1, I don't think they'd do. I think the Panthers win game 4. But that's that. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm your host, Ben Ballion, and this was the Sports Pod.